Cool thing I like too here is that she steps over the body. Watch this. Bam! You see that? Look at that. She stepped over the body right there. Okay, all right. I know I'm biased, but the way this opens, hold me. Okay, first of all, I know a lot of people wondering. The cartoon is public domain. Okay, I found it in public domain because at first it was supposed to be Twilight Zone, and we were trying to see how we can utilize the message while trying to say this is what happens when you make permanent decisions out of temporary feelings. The cartoon opening isn't just nostalgia, it's a warning. And how can we take the innocence and make it so dreadful? Psychologically, horror, ontologically. A cheerful world singing its way towards consequences. The illusions of innocence. Joy is masking decay. You know, my thing is, when I watch stuff like this, because, you know, every movie has the same structure no matter what it is. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, prelogue, epilogue, whatever, prologue, whatever. I ask myself, when a frame looks safe, what is it actually protecting? Moving on. Okay, this is fire because when I was editing it, I was trying to make sure that the cognitive congruency and the consistency is constantly going. So the T is the boiling point, and that's why you hear it as going into the illusion of innocence, going into this whole teeth pot thing. That's pretty much saying that the teapot is a confession of the boiling point. Not only that, if you hear the dogs are telling you that the gunshot just went off. Cool thing I like too here is that she steps over the body. Watch this. Bam! You see that? Look at that. She stepped over the body right there. See? That's the message. Yeah, love it. Go straight into the dialogue. You're shaking. Beautiful.
You're shaking.
This is one of my favorite frames. It shows the neo-noir stylized with this heavy grain. I think we shot this on the 85, if I'm not mistaken, but this frame, it shows so much without telling so much. I color graded this. I'm not a professional, so excuse me. It may not look as good. I tried my best, but I did use a dehancer to stylize this along with hard light. The DP and I, we talked about trying to recreate the light for Sinners. Sinners just fucking, it mind us. When we looked at Sinners for the 35th time, not exaggerating, I think that it did something to how I would love to tell the art form when it comes to the sense of stylized Gothicism. This is more so neo-noir style type of lighting, in which you all can look at. John Wick as another source of that. It's beautiful. Drive is another good one. But with this one, I think it fits the tonality of the story in so many ways. A lot of people constantly keep saying Pulp Fiction or Quentin Tarantino. Yes, you all got it. You hit the hammer. You hit the nail on the hammer with that one. But the reason why I chose warm colors and these dual tone cold and warm colors, specifically brown and yellow, because colors provide comfort. And also comfort can lie. A cozy frame like this can hide the most dangerous truth. That conflict is so silent. We're straight into the conflict. Nothing rushed.
I'm thinking.
You always think too much.
Okay, once again, another classic frame that we don't really get a chance to really see in this modern day age of cinema. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of new movies. I'm biased. I'm like Denzel, but I don't say I watch movies. Just I watch old movies. This right here shows us the distance. We can see that James is turning his back because silence becomes control. So Lena's stillness is fear and routine. James' silence is the most loudest confession, I think, in the whole entire film. But once again, just my bias as the writer and director. Moving on. My favorite part.
And you don't think enough.
This is my favorite part because this is the revelation. Not only did he just say you don't think enough, which is contradicting all the things that they both have done, and also in the denial of guilt, which is really him. This is where we get the chance to see the blood. We get a chance to see the damage that Lena isn't saying, but we feel that. This is what makes it poetic. Excuse me, chills as I talk. Let's keep going.
We've been here before.
Message.
We'll be here again.
Biggest message of this whole entire piece is the psychological, existential, it's the ontological and the psychological existential crisis and the dissonance that we face as human beings. Boy, I tell you, if any one thing is another. Boy, the devil show is busy.
Stop stirring that damn cup.
One of my favorite parts as well. All these are my favorite parts. I'm such a bias and such a cinephile. But all of these are just leading up. The stakes are constantly changing. And not only are the stakes changing, but now the beat is implying something else that is so much further context and subtext that will be coming soon. Also, this is another boiling point. Stop Stirring That Damn Cup wasn't just about anger. This is love gasping for oxygen. That's exactly when I directed James, or Jared in this sense. I said, I think screaming wouldn't do any justice. People rarely yell because they're angry. I think people yell because they're scared. But this isn't scared. This is something else way deeper than this. And obviously he's communicating that in something that has been taking place for a very long time.
Forgive me. I just...
More confession coming. Also, I love about this frame too is a lot of people still miss with the subtleties is that he has gloves section. This is gloves, which indicates that he is an assassin or some type of view. Also, what I like here is that there's a picture of an angel here. Just the irony of all the situations of what's going on. It's so subliminal, but there's so many messages that goes to show you that this can't be their home at all. It just can't. Not only does he get a chance to look back, I had a very hard time with the color grading process because the lighting wasn't consistent throughout the whole entire frame. Oh my God. Ooh, every time I think about it, it just makes me upset. Sun was setting down, and so I started talking to a lot of DPs. I didn't have money. I don't have no money. I'm not finna pay no $600 for just 2 hours. Or I think the funny thing about YouTube, and every video that I watch for color grading, everybody's like, "Well, this is just the way I do it," but there's also some other methods you could do it. I'm like, fam, which way do you color grade this? I don't know how to color grade this. I talked to a bunch of colorists on this, and a lot of the colorists were saying that just keep the skin tones the same. I mean, there's only so much that you can do, and just use power windows. This is where the whole entire idea came from in the color grading process of using grain to give that stylized fixture to replace, but also to add a little bit more of a stylized feel to it, and to give it this grit and this.
We could leave.
Say it.
Pretend like none of this ever happened.
Yes.
Is that what you want?
Whew, okay, so, all right, where do I start with this? The reason why the silence is so much louder is because I want to create a sort of a psychological subversion in which I felt like it would hit the mark. You know how those older films, their ambient noise is a little loud? I did that on purpose. It's to make you feel that hum is something, you're expecting something else to happen. And I want this to be seat gripping. And that's how we came up with that feel in the editing process of making the hums sound good. Because the hums you can't deny. You can't deny the silence. You can't deny it at all. And, sound mixing was hard too. So, I think this part right here talks about how it feels to be exposed. I think a lot of assassin movies always show these tough guys, but in this movie, I wanted to understand the guilt of what makes assassins or spies or whatever we call them in the most dreadful way of all their minds speaking whatever it is. So check this out.
I don't know what I want anymore.
That's a lie. You know exactly what you want.
Deep. I know a lot of people don't care about the wide shot. I am A-okay if you don't. If you do, this is about surveillance. This is exactly why the wide shot is there. And also why I wanted to become the master shot. I wanted you all to feel the distance just exactly as much as they feel the distance. Now, that's just my view on it. If I could shoot this again, it would be from behind them. It would be a French over the shoulder to show the things that they're hiding by showing in the back of them, which I thought was a cool idea. I woke up a couple months later after watching this and I'm like, damn. But I think what we got and what we made here was beautiful. The reason why he's isolated, because this is where the guilt finally sets in a sense. Confession don't free everyone. I just want to let you know that. Sometimes it just reveals what it cost. This is what it costs to confess. When James finally tells the truth, he shrinks. He's isolated. This is why this frame is isolated. And the reason why he builds down, because there's a power dynamic here, as you can tell. I think some truths are too heavy to hold standing up. And you have this power dynamic. This is why she kind of wears this white and this gray, but they're all color dynamics. All of this is playing simultaneously. So now we go into the rub, right? She does the rub just like how she did the tea.
Maybe we stop pretending.
About what?
About us.
Okay, this is deep. This is real deep. And this is exactly why it's a two-person medium close-up going into like this extreme feel. This raises the stakes. And this is also the real tragedy. Her touch is more so about survival. James is in disillusion. That's why he's like, about what? He's going in and out of what grief is and cognitive dissonance. Because the cognitive dissonance is when we hold two contrary beliefs to whatever opposed truths are. Which also makes this dangerous because we start to see how our harm is a form of necessity rather than asking, are we capable of doing this? This is exactly what was happening. This is exactly why I wanted the evidence to be exactly on them, but it's so subtle and minimal until you get to close-ups like this, because we are all dealing with something that is right in front of us. And sometimes it takes something in us to confront what that looks like in some of the most not ready moments of our lives. And so here, this is about connection misunderstood.
About what we did. About what we are.
It's tense. Kiss her. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Let's relieve that tension. That's exactly why I went back to those frames, is to relieve that tension that we just felt between them. This wasn't a part of the script. He wasn't supposed to do this, but he had this desire to, because the tension that was in her and in them that is being felt. I mean, don't it make you want to lean in and kiss as well? Face that. The attempted kiss isn't a romance. It's just reassurance. Pretending don't feel like pretending is pretty much the real tragedy here, because the lie is now becoming the life. And obviously this is something way more bigger than what they wanted, or something isn't being confronted here. I mean, hell, I'm still even searching for the truth. Then you got this.
You think I can do that?
Woo! It hits, then jump cut straight to the cigarette.
I think we already did.
Oof. There's so much here to be unfolded. Then James is still left with the buried truth once again.
So,
And she's at this surrender, this acceptance.
what now?
What now? We're here. We've been here before. I love this because he doesn't look at her. He goes straight back to same habits. This is what makes us
We've been here
dangerous.
before.
And we'll be here again.
Oof. Okay, so this makes me so excited. I get so excited. I'm such a geek. The only thing I regret from this shot is not getting this shot, but from their point of view, looking from the body. That would have been so freaking hard. It would have been like a GTA. It would have been like a GTA cover or something. Like, ugh. Anyway, so I think with all this being said, this is the most. This was the film poster. One of them. It's the main film poster. This is just hot. There ain't really nothing else I can say about this. These people are beyond killers. At the end, they're not monsters. They're mirrors. See, the danger isn't to act, it's the engine behind it. This is what you call repetition as revelation. This exists in all of us in so many factors. And if we don't confront this, we all can be Lena and James at some point. We've all lived in cycles. Some are smaller than others. But until the room caves in, we'll be in things like this, the things we bury. The song choice is such a relief, you know. I love this. Woo! Okay, so song choice is hard. I got off Artlist. I get all my song choices off Artlist. And to be honest, sometimes I just listen to songs before I even write. I just listen to a song and I'm like, got the story. Final Frame. James, this whole thing. Whole frame right there is hot. Just the whole transitioning. So with this Final Frame, I didn't want a resolution. Obviously, because the story is gonna continue on. Wink, wink. I wanted reflection because what we bury doesn't disappear; it just waits. So it's quiet intensity, no answers, only honesty, and that's why he's still shaking. You see how he's shaking that gun? Look at it. Watch how he shakes that gun. He's scared. That's that adrenaline taking over. But the song choice. Here at Blue Jay, being known isn't the goal. Being felt is. Every frame means something. And the things we bury means something in almost every other film that you watch. Watch them on Vimeo if you would like to watch more. This isn't performance. This is confession. Thank you for spending your time with me. And I'll see you soon for some more. Peace.